Hello YouTube, this is Evan Shope, KC2USH. This is my 2-meter radio, the Icom 2200H. It's on one of the local repeaters around this area right now. I had a problem with the radio running quite warm where it was originally mounted. I had originally mounted it right there in the cabinet. That was an okay setting, or mounting I should say, but it actually was a very not such a good place to mount it. It got very, very warm, even on low power. So it wasn't a good place to mount it. So I pulled it out of the shack, or the cabinet, mounted it right here on the shack desk, and I, just to be on the safe side, mounted a Radio Shack fan on the top of it. Keeps right where the PA module is, nice and cool, as well as the very back of the heat sink here. And I had it just wired to a 120 volt plug. You know, you plug it into the wall, plug it out when you don't, or unplug it when you don't need it. I had it right underneath there. I had it mounted, or plugged I should say. And I decided that was a pain to get back there every time I needed to turn it off. So what I did is I wired up a switch for it and do a little housing here. Now the housing is made from an old Halloween strobe that you see on people's houses at Halloween. I opened it up, took out all the electronics of it out, and just left the plastic housing, and used the existing holes for the switch and the indicator light. Now the indicator light fits right in the the speed of how many times of strobe flashes. There we go. How many times the strobe flashes there. That was a perfect fit. The switch, where everything goes right into the housing, or all the AC lines go into the housing when it was a Halloween strobe, I had to widen that hole up just a little bit in order to get the switch to fit, but it works. The indicator light is wired in series with the switch. The switch is wired in series with the fan. So in other words, it's just one one big series circuit here. I switch it on, see the indicator light comes on, the fan goes on. Now this fan is overkill, but it keeps the radio nice and cool. I can feel the cool air from here, feel it coming from here. It's zip tied, the fan itself is zip tied right onto the back, here right to the back of the heat sink. You can see it right there. And that's how I keep the back of the radio cool. It is overkill, but if I ever need it for another project, that's what I can use it for there. And I'll show you the inside of the switch box, so to speak, there. Now I do keep that cover screwed on there, but for the sake of this video, there are the screws right there. I seem to be missing a screw here somewhere, but those are the screws right there for the radio, or for the switch box. I keep those just screwed right into the top. Right, I don't know if you can see it there, but there's one of the holes right there. But here's the view from the inside. I had an old power cord that I pulled off something that was going to go in the trash, and use that for the plug. The fan originally came with just 2 leads like this right here, and they go into the radio. Got the indicator light and one of the fan leads wired up right. I don't know if you can see that back terminal back there, but that's where that's wired there. And then you got the brown AC cord right there wired to the front terminal, and you can see another solder connection of the fan terminal. The fan wire lead, the wire lead off the indicator light, and the other AC line there, they've been soldered together and zip tied to the indicator light here, just to keep it nice and neat inside of the radio, or inside of the box. That's that connector or connection has got clear insulator or heat shrink tubing acting as an insulator, just to keep anything from touching that switch down there. And the switch is rated at 10 amps at 120 volts, and I believe 6 amps at 225, 220 maybe. You know, you turn it off, you can obviously see it going on, or going off. It's very crude, but it was one of my very first homebrew projects here for ham radio that came out successfully. So I'm proud of it. It only took me a couple hours to get together there. I'll slide that housing back on. Let's see if I can get it back on one-handed. There we go. As you can see back here, this part right here is clear. You can see actually the red on the indicator light. And I just drilled a hole in there. As you can see, the clear's cracked a little bit, but that's actually where the strobe was. But that's now where all the cords are coming in and out. There's a zip tie right there, and there's one on the inside just for a little security measure, just to make sure it doesn't get pulled out of the pulled out of the switch box itself there. But that's my cooling system. Cooling fan on the Icom 2200H 2-meter radio. Thanks for watching in 73s.